Once upon a time, long, long ago, when the night sky was still a brand new canvas and the stars were just learning to twinkle, there lived a young moon. This moon was round and pearly, bright and beautiful, but oh so very shy. He didn't quite know his special job in the vast, starry universe. Every evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon in a blaze of orange and pink, the moon would slowly, gently rise. He'd float up, 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 wondering with a soft sigh, "Why am I here? What am I meant to do?" The other stars, tiny and sparkling, seemed to know their purpose, winking with confidence. And the sun, during the day, boomed with certainty, warming everything with a cheerful glow. But the moon felt quiet, a little lost, and very, very unsure. On his very first night, a night so new it still smelled of stardust and sleepy dreams, the moon looked down at the earth. What a sight it was! He saw little children tucked snugly in their beds, their dreams like tiny, colorful bubbles floating above their heads. He saw rivers like long silver ribbons, whispering secrets to the banks as they flowed. He watched ancient trees swaying ever so gently, their leaves rustling like soft lullabies. And he saw all sorts of sleepy animals, curled up and dreaming their animal dreams. Yet no one seemed to notice him, or speak to him, or even wave a tiny paw. "Oh dear," the moon sighed, a little puff of cloudy breath escaping his round face. He felt a tiny bit smaller, and his light dimmed, just a whisper. "Perhaps I am unnecessary," he thought, a sad little wobble in his glow. A tiny brave star, no bigger than a firefly, twinkled nearby. "Just wait, dear moon," the star whispered, its light a comforting blink. "Night is not loud like day. Night speaks softly, in whispers and gentle sighs." But the moon, still so new to the world, didn't quite understand. He longed for a big, clear purpose, something as grand as the sun's warmth or the stars' dazzling dance. He just didn't realize that sometimes the most important jobs are the quietest ones of all. He continued to float, a silent, silvery question mark in the vast, dark sky. That very same night, in a meadow filled with soft, dewy grass and sleepy wildflowers, lived a tiny rabbit named Lumo. Lumo was a sweet rabbit, but he had a heart that loved to worry. Every single night, as the shadows grew long and the world grew quiet, Lumo's heart would begin to race apace with all sorts of what-if questions. "What if the fox comes?" he'd think, his whiskers twitching nervously. "What if I'm too small to be brave? What if tomorrow is a scary, bumpy day?" Lumo would try to close his eyes, but his worries were like little buzzing bees, keeping him wide awake. He just couldn't seem to find his way to dreamland. Finally, unable to stay still, Lumo tiptoed out of his cozy burrow. He hopped onto a soft patch of clover and looked up, up, up at the vast, dark sky. And there, floating gently, was the moon. The moon wasn't blazing like the sun, making everything bright and busy. He wasn't shouting with light or demanding attention. He was just glowing, a soft, silvery, comforting glow. Lumo felt something strange happen inside him. It was a warm, fuzzy feeling, like being wrapped in a soft blanket. His little rabbit heart, which had been racing like a drum, began to slow down. Thump, 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 thump. His breathing became deep and even, like the gentle sway of the grass. "Hello?" Lumo whispered, his voice barely a puff of air. The moon, of course, didn't speak back with words. He didn't have a mouth for talking or ears for hearing in the way Lumo did. But he did something even more special. He listened. He listened with all his silvery light, with all his quiet presence. He listened to Lumo's tiny whisper, to the soft thumping of his slowing heart, and to the silent worries that were finally beginning to drift away. And as the moon listened, truly listened, his light seemed to grow softer, warmer, like a gentle, silent hug. It wasn't brighter, but it felt more comforting, more understanding. Lumo, feeling completely safe and seen, yawned a big, sleepy yawn. He curled up right there in the soft grass, under the moon's gentle gaze, and drifted off into the sweetest, most peaceful sleep he had ever known. The moon, watching Lumo sleep, felt a brand new feeling bloom inside his quiet heart. Usefulness. He had helped someone just by being there and listening. On another night, as the moon floated gracefully across the velvet sky, he noticed something peculiar. There was a long, winding river below, usually so full of cheerful gurgles and happy splashes, but tonight it was silent. Its waters still moved, flowing steadily onward, but they seemed to carry a heavy sadness. The river's usual bubbly song was gone, replaced by a quiet, mournful sigh. The moon, remembering the lesson of Lumo, leaned a little closer, stretching his silver light across the water like a comforting hand. "Why so quiet, dear river?" he asked, his question a silent beam of light. The river, feeling the moon's gentle attention, seemed to sigh even deeper. "Oh, moon," it whispered, its voice a soft ripple. "I carry too many stories. I carry the tears of those who stand on my banks, the secrets whispered into my currents, and the losses of things washed away. I am so tired of holding it all." The moon didn't try to fix the river's problems. He didn't tell it to cheer up or to forget its burdens. He didn't judge the river for feeling sad or overwhelmed. Instead, he simply listened. He listened to the silent weight of all those stories, to the weary flow of the water, and to the river's deep, quiet longing for peace. He simply reflected it. His silvery light danced on the surface of the water, showing the river its own beautiful, shimmering self. As the river saw its own reflection, shining and graceful under the moon's gaze, it remembered something important. It remembered that even with all the stories it carried, it was still a beautiful, flowing river. It remembered its own strength, its own journey, and its own unique song. A tiny gurgle, then a soft hum, then a gentle melody began to rise from its depths. The river began to sing again, a soft, soothing lullaby that echoed through the night, all because the moon had simply been there, listening and reflecting its true self. Deep within a whispering forest, where shadows danced and secrets slept, stood an ancient, wise tree. This tree had seen countless seasons, felt 1,000 winds, and grown tall and strong under the sun's bright gaze. But at night, when the sun had gone to rest, the old tree often felt a pang of loneliness. "I feel forgotten at night," the tree sighed, its leaves rustling sadly in the cool evening breeze. "The sun brings me warmth and helps me grow, but when darkness falls, I feel so very alone." The moon, hearing the tree's quiet complaint, floated a little closer, casting a gentle silver glow upon its ancient branches. He didn't try to be the sun, for he knew he couldn't. He didn't offer the same kind of warmth or the same bright energy. Instead, the moon replied, his message a silent, comforting beam of light. "The sun helps you grow, dear tree, but I help you rest. I watch over you while you sleep, guarding you from the chill of the night and the worries of the dark." And so, the moon stayed with the tree through the long, quiet night. His soft light filtered through the leaves, creating dancing patterns on the forest floor. He stood guard, a silent, watchful friend, protecting the tree from the biting frost and the shadowy fears that sometimes crept in with the darkness. The tree, feeling the moon's steady, peaceful presence, began to understand. It realized that rest wasn't just about doing nothing. Rest was also a kind of growth. It was a time for roots to deepen, for energy to gather, and for dreams to blossom. The moon had shown the tree that even in stillness, there was strength and purpose. One night, a night that felt particularly long and dark, thick, fluffy clouds rolled in. They were big, grey, sleepy clouds, and they covered the moon completely. Poof! Just like that, the moon vanished from sight. The sky became a deep, inky black, and the world below felt a little bit lost. Children, tucked in their beds, stirred uneasily, missing the familiar glow that peeked through their windows. Animals in the forest, usually so calm under the moon's watch, rustled and stirred, feeling a strange sense of unease. The river, which had learned to sing again, slowed its gentle melody, its waters feeling a little colder without the moon's reflection. The moon, hidden behind the thick blanket of clouds, felt a shiver of panic. "Oh no," he thought, his light flickering with worry. "Have I failed? Am I truly unnecessary after all? If no one can see me, what good am I?" He felt a wave of doubt wash over his round, silvery face. But even behind the clouds, even when he couldn't be seen, the moon still listened. He listened to the children's restless sighs, to the animals' soft murmurs, and to the river's quiet slowing. And even unseen, his gentle, listening presence was felt. It was a quiet comfort, a silent promise that he was still there, even if hidden. When at last the sleepy clouds drifted away, revealing the moon once more, he returned brighter than ever. Not because he shone with more power, but because he understood something truly profound. He understood that being there, truly being present and listening, matters more than being noticed. It matters even when you are hidden, even when you are quiet, even when you are just a soft, silvery whisper in the night. From that night on, the moon stopped trying to impress anyone. He stopped worrying about being as bright as the sun or as sparkly as the stars. Instead, he embraced his true, quiet purpose. He became the gentle guardian of the night, the silent listener to all the world's sleepy secrets. Every night, he would float above the earth, a watchful, comforting presence. He listened to children's whispered fears, helping them drift into peaceful dreams. He held lovers' secrets, keeping them safe under his silvery gaze. He watched over weary travelers, guiding their steps with his soft light. He guided the ocean's tides gently, pulling them in and out with a silent, rhythmic dance. And he sat with the lonely, offering a quiet companionship that needed no words. He became the guardian of all quiet things, the protector of peace, and the keeper of dreams. And every single night, as children all over the world drifted into the soft, warm embrace of sleep, the moon would whisper, without words, a message only their hearts could hear. "You are safe. You are seen. You are loved. You can rest now, little one." And that, my dear sleepyhead, is why, even today, when you look up at the beautiful round moon, your heart feels a special kind of calm. It's because the moon is still there, still listening, still watching over you, and still whispering his silent, comforting lullaby. He is the quiet magic of the night, always there, always listening, always loving. Now, as the moon watches over you, close your eyes, little one. Let his gentle light fill your dreams with peace and wonder. Remember that even the quietest presence can bring the greatest comfort. Sweet dreams, and may your sleep be as soft and silvery as the moon's own glow.